We'd been warned, but this was the first time that we realized something was happening. Gunfire followed by people running. Police vehicles suddenly appearing on the streets that were emptying fast. Within minutes, helicopter gunships appeared over the presidential palace and government buildings in the center of Kabul. Anti-missile systems firing chaff into the air. The Taliban had entered the city and the American pilots knew it. For hours they circled above, but there was nothing they could do to stop the takeover of the capital. Occasional gunfire ripped through the air. Throughout the day, Chinook helicopters ferried United States Embassy staff to the international airport. Road moves deemed far too dangerous. It harked back to the images of the ignominious retreat of the US from Vietnam. An image President Biden said wouldn't be repeated, but this still photograph may well come back to haunt the president in the days to come. In Kabul, crowds gathered to welcome the Taliban. They greeted speakers with enthusiasm. I hear a lot of shouting near the presidential palace. I watched as the Taliban entered the very heart of this country's government. I think it's a procession of the Taliban. Yes, it is. There's the white flag, and they're coming down the street just next to us. Inside the presidential palace, they rammed home this remarkable takeover, posing in the offices of power, a power that after 2 decades of trying has failed to finish them. The tension in Kabul has been at bursting point. As we left our hotel to see what was going on, the Taliban were right in front of us. They stared, but let us pass. It won't be like this for long. These streets are usually heaving with people and cars. They were deserted. Traffic jams are a permanent fixture here, the reason army and police checkpoints. Now, though, we pass through unimpeded. These heavily armed mini-fortresses now unmanned. Once again, the Afghan soldiers have melted away. We're in just a very short while after the arrival of the Taliban, and news had spread through the city. The streets are really empty. I mean, we were here only a day or so ago, and in the hours from this morning we could see it was absolutely chock-a-block with people. Now it's pretty quiet, pretty empty. A lot of people have just gone home. There's no real sort of authority on the streets anymore. This population knows what's coming. Some of the changes are subtle. No jeans and t-shirts now. They've changed into traditional shalwar kameez clothing, and there's no women to be seen. And no images of women on beauty salon windows either. Whitewashed, even as the president talked like he was still in charge.
There is a clear need that the National Directorate of Security, alongside the police and Afghan army, take responsibility of the security of all citizens, as per my order to the Defence Minister and the Interior Minister. It is our responsibility, and God willing, we will carry out the responsibility in its best manner.
The president's words of security infer order. At the airport, there wasn't much of that to be seen. There's a mad scramble to get on flights that have been cancelled and onto military flights to which there's no access. The roads clogged with traffic and Afghan military vehicles, moving in all directions, but mainly away from the Taliban. On the roadside, the latest arrivals from battles around the country drag their belongings along the dusty roads, looking for somewhere to stay. None will forget the day the Taliban returned. Their 20-year war is won. Stuart Ramsay, Sky News, Kabul.